Boxing fans, we are here in Riyadh. It's a big one. We are at the Boulevard runway. It's cold, but you know, I don't mind it. We're used to it. We're from the UK, Adam.
We are used to it, but I packed all the T-shirts. We all packed wrong, didn't we? Thank God I brought a coat with me as well. So I went to Gibraltar for Dilly and White, and I wasn't quite sure how warm it would be there. And I came out of the airport last night with Barry Jones at 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and I was like, it's absolutely freezing. So no, it's cold. It's also cold on the hotel, but never mind, let's stop complaining. It's a phenomenal fight week, and it's brilliant to be here because it's reignited. It's Fury and Usyk and Fury, and it's a great one. It was terrific in May, and I'm glad to be here just before Christmas for what should be an early present.
Let's break this down slightly. First time around, we saw a great heavyweight fight. I think a lot of people had it like Fury was winning the first half, Usyk won the second half, and there was a knockdown in between. If you want to break it down that easily, I think people are putting it that way. But for this fight, I'm going to first of all talk about Oleksandr Usyk. What do you believe he'll change, incremental changes he'll make for this fight?
Well, I didn't have it like that first time around. I didn't say it as a fight of two halves. I saw it as a fight of 3/3. I thought Usyk was really good in the first couple of rounds. Actually, the way he cut the ring off, and I thought Fury was lackadaisical. But I thought Fury really controlled the middle of the fight, 4-7. I thought he was brilliant behind the jab and that uppercut. You know, utilising the body shots well. And Usyk looked exhausted when he went back to his corner before the 8th round, and then he came on. So Usyk won the fight. What does Usyk have to do differently? Not much. He's very, very bright. His IQ is incredible. I think he finds an answer to pretty much everything. So I think it will be. He's a little bit bigger. I think he's maybe a bit more powerful around the shoulders. I've been with him for a few days in camp in Gandia, and that was a privilege and a pleasure, I've got to say, being around such an incredible athlete who trains with military precision 3 times a day. Watching him swim was something extraordinary. He could be a professional swimmer. He is a footballer. He could do anything really. He could be an acrobat. I mean, his balance for a big guy is extraordinary. So it was great being around him. But just little things. I think he's just got to expect Fury to be different. That's the thing. So expect Fury to utilise his size more, to focus more. You know, to look for leaning on Usyk and taking the fight out of him a little bit, as well as having that big reach advantage. You know, Fury's got big assets in this fight. He's got to use them properly. Can he do it for every minute of a 12-round fight? Are the legs as good as they once were of Tyson Fury? Lots of questions to be answered again on Saturday night. For me, it's more Fury that has to change, and Usyk will adapt. But I mean, Usyk was great last time, and will he be as good again? We know Fury will have given everything to the training camp. He looks terrifically focused. He's locked everyone away, and that's what he should do, because he's lost for the first time in his life, and he didn't like it.
Just going off what you're saying, you've spent a couple of days, Oleksandr. You're saying he's looking bigger. And I can't see it myself. I can't normally see it when they got loads of clothes on. But Tyson Fury, there's rumours that he's going to be coming in bigger. If he does come in heavier, what does that show you that Tyson's game plan is going to be for the fight? Well,
again, it's definitely that he's going to utilise that weight advantage and really try and smother Usyk's work and maybe try and attack the body. He's got to try and zap the energy of Usyk. But Usyk's an amazing athlete. His dedication is second to none. So that's going to be hard. And also, Sugar Hill told me at the press conference in London that they're going to go for the knockout. They have to go through him. And maybe he will try and do what he did to Deontay Wilder. But Oleksandr Usyk is a much better boxer, and it's going to be hard. And if he doesn't get rid of Usyk, Usyk's counter-punching is excellent, and if he's still there after 7-8 rounds, and Usyk and Fury's plan's not worked, then he could be in for trouble. But it's maybe he'll mix and match Tyson Fury in this. Maybe he'll try and utilise that jab and reach. Wait for Usyk to come in with the uppercut, but also when he comes in, really utilise that weight advantage. I think he will come in a bit heavier, but not massively heavy. And Usyk's not very different. It's just I noticed his upper body was just a little bit more strength for that. Maybe they've done a bit more conditioning, a bit more weights on the upper part of the body, maybe to make him a little bit more powerful. Maybe they're looking at the countering shots to stop Fury in his tracks. But yeah, look, it's a fascinating one. We can go this way, that way, flip-flop around, and no one can predict what's going to happen on Saturday night, and that's why we're here.
Tyson did an interview with Queensbury yesterday, and he said he's looking to end Usyk's career. I just want to ask you, do you feel like we could possibly see any of these fighters calling it a day after this, or do you feel like there's too much going on in the heavyweight division right now, especially in 2025, with these rumours of Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight and the Usyk Dubois fight, that there's just too much going on for either one to retire?
Way too much going on, and Turkey Al-Sheikh's very persuasive. He's trying to get Vladimir Klitschko back in a ring. So no, I don't think either of them will retire after this fight. You may hear if Fury loses, you may hear him going away for a while, but he'll come back and fight Joshua, no doubt, if he loses. And if Usyk loses, then there'll be a trilogy. So no, I don't think either will walk away. I think Fury Joshua will happen next year. It's just how it happens, and it's probably got more chance of happening quicker if Fury loses. I think if Usyk wins, he'll maybe fight Dubois or another. I don't think it really matters. He wants to fight on, and he'll just take any challenge. And I think obviously his country is so important to him, Ukraine, and I guess the icing on the cake for Oleksandr would be to fight back in his homeland at some stage, but obviously it's too hard at the moment. So I could see him fighting on for another year or two. I think he looks a very, very young 37-year-old. Fury, who knows? I was speaking to Wardy earlier. Wardy and Spencer Brown, they're very close to Tyson, and I think no stone has been left unturned in this camp. And I think if he does lose, he'll have known he's put everything into it, and Usyk will be the better guy. But I still think he'll come back and fight Joshua, because there'll be huge money in that. It's a fight the casuals want to see. So I think both of them will carry on, and there'll be many more fights ahead for 25 and 26. Let's not forget Dubois Parker. Let's not forget Martin Bakole, who's hanging around. Kabayel and Zhang's a great fight, and Moses Atama could become one of the youngest world heavyweight champions in history.
We'll talk about Dubois Parker later in 2025, because that card deserves a whole interview itself, because it's just such a good card put on by Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. But Anthony Joshua, do you feel like him waiting for the summer for a potential fight with Tyson Fury is a long time out of the ring, or do you feel like he's had enough fights in a small period of time for him to have a bit of a rest?
Yeah, it's had good momentum in 2024, but obviously it ended badly at Wembley. Time off is a good thing. I think there was an injury as well. They said that he won't be back till the spring. So, yeah, that's about right. And I think if Fury comes out without any major injuries out of this one on Saturday night, they could make the Fury Joshua fight in the spring. They could do one here, one at Wembley, or the other way around. I think we could have two next year. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? And it's been a fight we've waited for, and we didn't get AJ Wilder. We need to see Fury and Joshua at some point for the casual fans, and we may well get Eubank and Ben, and that's a casual fans fight, but there's not many that the sports fans outside of the boxing trade would want more than that fight. So I think we're going to be thrown out. It's or is that a safety alarm? But no, I think we'll get it next year. But yeah, there's AJ will be back, and he loves it, and I think he'll have learned a lot from the Dubois defeat, and we'll see again how he can come back and whether he can become a three-time heavyweight champion.
Just a final one, and listen, I know you're part of the Zone broadcast team, and you're going to be the commentator on Fight Night. And look, it's great to have you back in that presence, because a lot of people know how iconic your voice is in regards to boxing, and especially when boxing was booming just a couple of years ago on Sky Sports, and yourself, you're very involved in that. But a fighter I do want to talk about back then days was Vladimir Klitschko, and you did mention his name. We covered his fights, AJ, and you covered his other fights, Fury fight and everything else. Does it just sound mad that we could possibly be getting him back in the ring?
It does, and it's a bit sad in a way, because Vladimir is a great fighter, and it's now a number of years since the AJ fight. But if he's kept himself in great shape and he wants to break George Foreman's record, then it's up to him, and it's up to Turkey, and it's up to the powers above us. I just don't like fighters going on too long, and we saw with Mike Tyson the other day that it just was really sad to watch. And I think, yeah, Vladimir was a great fighter, and he's a massive ambassador, and I'm not sure. I need to spend a bit of time with him to find out if he really wants to do it. And look, he's a very competitive guy, and he's always up for a challenge. And if he's kept himself in amazing shape, but time waits for no man, and he's nearly 50, and it may be a hard one. So I'm not sure about that. I'd like to speak to him. I'd like to talk to him, and I've known him very well over the years. And we've been treated to some phenomenal nights with Vladimir Klitschko. But I'm not sure about that. There's Moses Atauma at 19 and Vladimir Klitschko at late 40s. It doesn't really work for me. It's a young man's sport, and Daniel Dubois proving that at 27. Dillian White at 36 the other night got the win, but wasn't maybe overly impressive. He got it done, but wasn't maybe as quick as he once was. He wanted rounds, and he needs momentum, and these guys are 36, 37, 38, and they're in the last chapters of their career. To bring Vladimir back, I'm not sure.
Adam, always a pleasure. Always good seeing you on Fight Week. Hopefully we get to see you on many more fight weeks to come. But look, let's see how this one plays out. Good fight, great fight, and definitely get your thoughts after the fight. Thank you very much, Adam Smith. Always a pleasure, mate.
A pleasure. Nice to talk to you.